Aloha Satnam. Today we're talking about discovery, and discovery is a really exciting part of this journey of life, this epic adventure that we go through in this spiritual evolutionary spiral. Now, discovery can be, again, really exciting, really fun. It can also be quite challenging because we're basically running up against all of our concepts that we thought were just how things are. And we're discovering that that's not so. So this stage is, again, fun, again, challenging, and very important. If you don't go into the curiosity, you won't allow yourself to go into discovery. You've got to be curious in order to look for the things that you're going to find in discovery stage. So think back now. Just think about your journey. Think about your path. Think about where you've been. And think about how you felt during the stage of your life where you were learning that not everything that you thought was true is true. That there are, my favorite quote, hundreds of ways to kneel and kiss the ground. And that's a Rumi quote. There are hundreds of ways to kneel and kiss the ground. There are infinite possibilities out there. There are ideas that nobody on earth has thought of before, and they're there though. So just when were you in this time? For the first time, because we cycle around many times. So maybe you'd rather think of the last time you were in this stage, but the first time through this spiral, I feel, is both the most exciting and the most challenging, because everything is so new and you're able to uncover aspects of yourself that you weren't aware of, and you're able to see the world differently. We tie the discovery stage to the karma number. Now, your karma number, and I'll get to this part later, is going to show you sort of the thing that you came here to overcome within your external environments. And I pair this with discovery because when we're in discovery, we are going out and seeking new things and feeling this new sense of self. And how does that new sense of self interact with all the things that we're already active in, all the relationships we already have? And then how do we overcome this challenge? It's usually a challenging number or a body, one of our 10 bodies that we have the most challenges with, to overcome those so that we can bring harmony into our external environments as well as our internal environments. Once the kind of honeymoon stage is over in this discovery section of our trip, it can be a little tumultuous. It can be a little trying. And that's okay, because we're continuing to, again, discover more and more about ourselves. And as we discover, we become aware. As we become aware, we can change. Woo! So when I look back and I think of my discovery stage, I really feel that the curiosity plays into the discovery, and the discovery plays into growth, growth into expansion, expansion, cocooning, cocooning, curiosity. You know, it goes like that. They play into each other. But when I went really into this discovery stage is when I left my marriage in Minnesota in 2011 and started to find what was necessary for my growth and my inner journey. And with that came a very outward journey. And I left everything behind but a number of my belongings and my car. I left my car. I loved my car. I had a connection to this car that I had. So I piled many, many, many things into a Prius, and I drove across the country. And I can tell you that it was one of the best times in my life. I was on my own, and I had always wanted to be independent. The truth is, hindsight 2020 as it is, I feel that one reason I wanted to get married so much was because I wanted to be free of the dependence on my parents. They are awesome, and don't read me wrong. I love my parents. They're actually visiting at the time that I'm recording this, and it's the best. They're amazing people. They're so supportive, and all they want is for me to be happy. What more can you ask from your parents? So still though, I just wanted to be self-sufficient, and I thought getting married would free me from the dependence that I had at age 20, 21 on my parents. But all it did was really shift that dependence to this husband. Now, not saying that I was seen as a possession or anything in any of these circumstances, but the freedom that I thought I would feel having a different family was not there. And it is no fault of anyone. It's really of no fault of anybody's. I just didn't understand the real concept that I was going for, and that freedom can only be found when you find your true self. No one's gonna give you your true self but you, and you've gotta just do the work. There's no getting around it. You've gotta discover yourself for yourself. So that marriage wasn't a match. It just wasn't. I think it started as one because we both just wanted to do the typical 9-to-5 house jobs, careers, saving money, that kind of thing. But what I didn't realize is that I had no idea who I was. And when I started to do the things that made me feel good, made me feel like me, I mentioned in the curiosity video and podcast that yoga was the first thing that made me feel like me that I'd ever experienced. So once I got a little taste, I kept going into that curiosity and started to discover that I had no clue who I was. So with these yoga teacher trainings, and I did 2 of them, that first one that I walked into and felt like I was home even though no one really said anything to me. And then about a year later, or a year and a half maybe, I took a Kundalini yoga teacher training, and this is really where everything that I'm teaching and sharing stems from. All of these 10 bodies, all of the karma number, soul number, path number, we're going to get to gift and destiny number. These all arise out of Kundalini yoga. And let me tell you what else did. Me. This girl, this woman right here. I discovered myself through this practice of Kundalini yoga, and I let it lead me to my deepest knowing. I almost feel like it's more than an intuition, although some people use the term intuition in the way that I use deepest knowing. So I let it lead me, and it led me to Ashland, Oregon. I remember looking at maps. I remember feeling like I spent about 20 minutes in Bellingham, Washington, and I loved it. And I thought, well, maybe I could live there. Didn't feel right. Well, what about Olympia? I've heard good things. Didn't feel right. Okay, California. I kind of really like this guy in California. Maybe I should live there. Didn't feel right. And the only thing that felt right was Ashland. How did I even know about Ashland? This is cool. In that first yoga teacher training, there were 7 students to start. 2 of us stayed in the actual yoga studio. One on the bed there. They had a Murphy bed there. It was the best. It was just the best. You all got to go to the yoga loft in Wilmer, Minnesota. It's amazing. And then one of us stayed on the floor on cushions. Well, I was 25, so that was me. And it was awesome, and I wouldn't trade that experience for the world. And I stayed with a woman named Sigrid, who was flying in from, I believe she lived in Phoenix, Oregon, which is a town right near Ashland. She owned a shoe store in Ashland. It's still there, Village Shoes. And she told me more than once, you need to go to Ashland. You'd love it there. People go there, they learn what they need to learn, and then they leave. And I said, well, that's cool. I'm sure I'd love it, but I have a house and a husband here, so that's not going to happen. But as I continued to discover myself, I realized that, one, I've got to let go of this guilt and shame. I remember crying on the floor of our living room and just telling my husband at the time, I am done with the guilt and I am done with the shame. I'm done. And I was just crying. And it was like I was feeling guilty for following my truth and going into that curiosity and moving into the discovery and watching him hate his job, drink every night, not really do anything unless it involved work or coming home and drinking and playing video games and just not being happy. And he had aspirations. And I really, really hoped that he would go for those aspirations. And I can't tell you now what happened. We're not in contact, but I still hope that he followed that heartfelt dream and that deep inner peace and knowing. That's what I hope for everybody. So getting back, that's how I got to Ashland. When we decided that this was kind of just not worth the suffering anymore, I packed my car up and I headed across the country to a place I'd never been. And I put my full faith in myself. It was time for me to be independent. And let me tell you what, I was. And it was really fun. And it was really scary. And it was really hard. And at first, I didn't think I would make it. But I never gave up. I just kept following the inner knowings that would arise. And you know what? They changed. I thought, I'm not going to even stay here very long. I am going to move to California. So I'm just having fun now. And one day I decided, you know what? I'm here now. So I'm going to do the things that I do here now. And I started to fall deeply in love with that place and deeply in love with myself. There was a lot of self-care. There was a lot of allowing There was a lot of allowing that happened for me in this discovery stage, where an opportunity would arise and I would say yes. And another one would arise and I would say yes. And I would say yes until that opportunity didn't feel right anymore. And then I would say, okay, what's next? What else is possible? How does it get any better than this? These two phrases are from Access Consciousness, which I learned about while I was in Ashland. I decided that I would give all of my painting supplies away because I tell you what, I loved painting. It got me through so much, but it was toxic. I was an oil painter. It was toxic, and it took so much time and energy and space to just that up and take down. The act of painting, unbelievable. The act of getting everything ready and taking everything down, cleaning everything, not. It's just not for me. So I donated it to the art center, and I said, universe, what's the next stage in my creative expression? And I swear that night, maybe the next day, I wrote a song. And I started writing music with my guitar. Years later, when a fire was burning our house and I had to leave really quick, I was heading for the door and I said, turned around and I said, I'm sorry, because I know you're not supposed to grab anything in a fire. But I grabbed my guitar and then I got out. Because obviously there's something to this aspect of me. Will I ever be famous for it? Doesn't matter. I used to want to be famous for everything. Now I just want people to follow their hearts. So if I could be famous for inspiring people to follow their hearts and be famous for that, then that'd be great. But whatever. I had, again, so much fun in discovery, but I also had a lot of challenges. I would explain it like Ashland is a place that will hold you in her arms and be there to nurture you and hold you. But all your shit comes up. All of it. And it's just like like flinging it right up there in your face so you can see it really clearly. But she's there holding you. So it's this nice combination of being loved and being tough loved. And a lot of growth happens when that's the case. It was also my Saturn return. So if you're not familiar with Saturn return, Saturn is a planet of structure and of purpose. And if you're not living your purpose, when Saturn shows up in your chart at the same place it was when you were born, it is going to challenge you until you don't even realize that all of these challenges are like not normal anymore. It's crazy how challenging the ages of about 27 and a half to 30 are. That period of your life is just, you're bombarded. You are bombarded with, are you living your purpose? Is this really what you want to do? Is this really what you're here for? Is this, oh my gosh. It's challenging. It's challenging. But when you are living from your heart and that deep inner knowing, it is so liberating. So let's talk about the karma number. Let's pause for a second though, and again tune into your period of discovery and remember the excitement of the new, and remember the confusion of the concepts that you thought were always going to be true, and remember whether or not it was difficult for you to realize that, wow, No one ever taught me this before. That was hard for me. I thought, why did nobody teach me this? Was I not aware of this before? And you can start to get a little victim-y. So if you do feel that, or if you feel like you've kept on to some of that, let's see what we can do to let it go. Your karma number may point out a few things in these areas. Your karma number may give you a clue. Before we get into that, I do have a couple sponsors, and I really want to mention them here on the video. On the podcast, I'll have a full little ad spot. I recommend supporting these sponsors. They're both amazing. The first is Julie Ryan. She's a psychic and medical intuitive, and she has a podcast, Ask Julie Ryan. She has trainings for tuning into energies and spirits and being able to work with others as she does. She has books to help you know how to tune in to what's really happening as we transition from this life. She's going to have a children's book coming out in December too, so that's cool. Amanda Plevel is the second one, and she is drfoodie.live, so it's drfoodie .live. And I'm just realizing I don't think I gave you Julie Ryan's URL, and that's askjulieryan.com. So drfoodie.live, Amanda Plevel has 2 courses, and they are courses and masterminds for practitioners of holistic health or wellness, and then those who would like to become practitioners. So they're called Practitioners Protocol. I am in that, and it's phenomenal, and she is phenomenal. Join us there. If you're not a practitioner yet and you'd like to start and know how to do it from the start, because let me tell you what, it's hard when you don't know. You're on your own. That independence thing, I don't want it for this. I want help. That course is called The Next Generation of Healers, and you can find all of that at drfoodie.live. So now, if you are watching, back to the show. If you're listening, again, back to the show. Karma number. This is based on the month that you were born, so this is so easy to calculate. It is the number of the month you were born, unless you were born in December. If you were born in December, apparently we need more positivity in this world because you're a 3, along with the March people. My karma number is 10. I was born in October. My husband's karma number is 7. He was born in July. Hope this makes sense to you. If you need help, let me know, reach out, okay? So your karma number is going to show you what you've probably had difficulties with, especially when it comes to your external environments. So for mine, my karma number is 10. 10 is the leader. 10 is the radiant body. It's the courage. It's the inner nobility. And so when I'm with a group, I have leadership energy, but I have definitely downplayed my own radiance because I was either afraid of conflict that it could create, say someone else was in the more power position or the leadership role, and even though I might have had a more efficient way of doing things or an easier way of doing things, I would stay a little timid and just kind of let things be as they were. I avoided stepping into leadership roles. And it's really important to overcome that, because what could others have received if I had stepped up into my full capacity for leadership? I'm doing so now. It's also my gift number. So it's an interesting combination to have such a strength that you are worried about displaying in front of others. If your number, let's go through the numbers. You were born in January. Your karma number is 1. The 1 is the originator. So are you allowing yourself to originate ideas? Are you allowing yourself to initiate concepts within your environment? When you're in the discovery stage, See what you can initiate. See how original you can be with your environment, with your external relationships. See if you can bring new life into all of them or any of them. See if you can find new ones. I know you will. When you're in discovery stage, friendships change. People leave your life and people enter your life. If your karma number is 2, you may have had a lot of challenges with self-sabotage, but especially when it comes to other people. And you may really have spent a lot of time trying to fit in or doing things that you know aren't great for you so that you can fit in. Think about the relationships that you've had. Have they been for your best benefit, or have they been an effort to try to fit in? So when you're in discovery stage, get really, really, really cozy with yourself. Anytime 2 is in your map, having that spiritual discipline is really important. Discipline, dedication. So dedicate yourself to really being disciplined in that. And you want to surround yourself for self-realized or at least self-growing people, people who are conscious of their spiritual growth, because that's the type of people that's going to help you get really comfortable with your own God self too. When your number in your karma position, you were born in March, is 3. Oh wait, you were born in December or March. 3 is all about seeing all the possibility, and when it's in your karma position, it can mean that you don't really allow yourself to see all of the opportunities and possibilities, and you might just settle for the things that the group says. You can kind of fall into group mentality, and you have so much access to so much and to so many possibilities and probabilities and ways of doing things. So make sure that you don't fall into group thought. Okay, think for yourself and then bring that to the group. Create your own group thought. No, I'm just kidding, don't do that. But really, if you have a good idea, whether or not the group might agree, share it and put it out there. 4 is the neutral mind. And the 4 in your karma number can mean that you are very conflicted in making decisions, especially in regard to other people. If the 4 is in any position in your map, there's something that you want to do, and that's meditate. So stay meditative and meditate on compassion. Meditate on having compassion for yourself and for all others, so your environment can reflect this internal compassion that you have. Especially when you're in the stage of discovery and you're seeing all this new stuff, to avoid falling into this duality of, well, that was bad and this is good, meditate and have compassion for all. If your number is 5, so that means you were born in May, that's the physical body. And in discovery, it can be hard to stay balanced, especially in your external affairs. So make sure that you're spending enough time with yourself and enough time on taking care of yourself and enough time going out and being with others and interacting with others. Be very balanced in how you, what your activities are. If your number is 6, you were born in June, that is the arc line, you're the projector. It can be really hard for you, if this is in your karma number, to manifest what you desire. It can be easy to get confused. It can be easy to get too one-sided as far as almost judgmental as far as, are these people spiritual enough or am I spiritual enough? There's always self-judgment anytime there's any judgment. So really get a good focus. Meditation is important for the 6s as well, because you really are the bridge between cosmic, or that number when I say you, I just mean this body is more pronounced in this area of your life than, say, me. I don't have any 6s in my map. That doesn't mean that I don't need to meditate, and it doesn't mean that I don't need to sit and focus and get really centered. And it doesn't mean I have no business bridging the cosmic realm to the physical realm. It just means that my karma has a lot more to do with me shining as bright as I shine and being okay shining as bright as I shine. And your karma, the thing that you're here to really master, has more to do with your sense of connection to the cosmic realm and the physical realm. I hope that makes sense. So we all have all 10 bodies, and we all have a responsibility to build and use all 10 bodies. I'm just really connecting the 10 bodies right now with the position in your map and how that plays a role during the evolution spiral. So, if your karma number is 6, can be confusion with too much, too little spirituality, things like that, and judging and that. So bridging the cosmic to the physical realm and just remembering that everything is sacred. And you can get that lesson from the 5s because they're here to teach, they're here to make sacred everything they sacrifice. If your number is 7, that's the aura, and the aura is a containment. Oh man, aura people are super sensitive. If your aura is in your karma position, you probably are very influenced by all the energy around you and by others, and it's important for you to be alone a lot, but it's also really important for you not to hide, because the aura number 7, that's the uplifter, that's the elevator, and to hide is kind of, unfortunately, you're not going to be elevating as much as we really need you to. So not internalizing everything is really important, and to just make sure that you're understanding the separation between you and another person, and that your own thoughts and your own energy are what are going to contain you and keep you in your own container, so that you can then uplift others without getting down yourself. The number 8 is the pranic body. The pranic body is the healer because of the stores of energy. However, with an 8 in your karma number, you may give everything and keep nothing. I've seen this with people with 8s as their karma number. It's like they just have no sense of command of this fearless energy, so they give it all away, and then there's nothing left. Make sure you spend time on yourself and you give that life force to yourself, especially in discovery. You deserve it as much as anybody, okay? Number 9 is the subtle body. My word for this is the pacifier. It's because that kind of means the peacemaker, right? The subtle body is calm. Its essence is calm. However, when it's in your karma number, your external environments, so the people you are around, may have a very easy time taking advantage of you, manipulating you. You may be gullible if you're not tuned in to that subtle body yet. So do a spiritual practice for 1,000 days. Tune into subtle energies as much as you can. Learn what you need to learn for that. I do Reiki. That's one option. There are many. There are many things in Kundalini Yoga that you can do. And it will help to clarify that subtle body, so that rather than being unattuned to the subtleties and not being able to see what people are actually meaning by what they say, you can be able to know and then say no if you need to say no. Okay, so in discovery, because we are discovering a lot, there are a lot of people out there who claim to be spiritual teachers that take advantage of people all the time. And there are a lot of people out there who are awesome and would never do that. Make sure you can tell the difference. I already went over the number 10 a little bit. That's the radiant body. If it's in your karma position, when you're out there discovering new things, remember that you are noble and that you are worthy, and that if something is important to you, it's okay to speak it with compassion and gentleness. But it is okay to rise up and lead even before you have literally everything figured out yet. Example, a friend of mine who is a phenomenal person. And I was actually on her podcast a while ago, and I said, you have a strong, radiant body, girlfriend. She does. She has a strong, radiant body. People are drawn to her. She is a leader and so radiant and courageous. Just awesome. Awesome woman. Someone recently told her, you need to work on yourself. Make sure you work on yourself before you help others. And I can't tell you how often she has helped me. And I know for a fact she has helped so many people. And if somebody has the ignorance to tell you, make sure you work on yourself before you help others, in the way that means you don't have it all figured out perfectly yet, so you shouldn't be helping others, because you should only help others if you have everything perfect. Don't listen. Shine your light, everybody. Shine as bright as you are. And now we come to the unifier. Now we come to the 11. If you were born in November and your karma number is 11, you may have a difficult time connecting your individuality with cosmic infinity, with universal consciousness. Your consciousness with universal consciousness. And you might have a really hard time seeing that everybody embodies universal consciousness. It might be really hard for you to see that. So just remember, when you're in discovery, that everything is God. Everything. Everything. That's a tough pill to swallow sometimes for all of us. If you have any questions about your map, if you have any questions about the 10 bodies, if you have any questions about anything I'm saying, reach out. Join me in the Light of Conscience community. I'd love to see you there. I would love to do a map for you if you are feeling like you're just not quite sure the direction to go. If you're feeling like, I think I'm on the right path, but I want to make sure I'm on the right path. And if there's something that I could be doing better, I really want to know about it, because I am here to shine all the brightness out all the time. Or if you're feeling like you've been defeated, if you feel like what's the hope anymore, or what's the use of even being here, I've worked with people with their map and it's quick, and they have come out with hope and with a determination that they haven't had in a long time, and feeling empowered again. I have worked with people who are just starting out in their journey, and they're so excited to see how amazing they are, because we all are, and to have steps to take and practices to work with in order to build the courage that they know they're going to need moving forward. I have worked with people who are really successful in business already, and they just want to know, are these shifts that I'm thinking about going to best fulfill me? Is this the best direction for me now? So if you're dedicated to living your most fulfilled life, get a map, you also get an hour and a half with me and 3 months free in Club LC. I would love to see you there. I love you. You are fantastic. Keep shining your radiant light. No matter what you're here to overcome, you've got this. I know it. Satnam.